The business that we're in is the renewable energy business, biofuels. The renewable energy industry is something that you can't really dabble in. You have to have a fairly big enterprise. So we started from very humble beginnings in 2007, and we've created a fairly large company. I mean, we'll do about 65 million in sales this year. Last year we did 8, and the year before that we did 0. So. The innovations that we bring to it are actually very ironic. And so the reason I say it's ironic is because from the beginning we went with a very simple technology instead of a more complex one, and sometimes it makes more sense to do that. I got started in 2007. Well, actually, my introduction to the biodiesel industry goes back to 2005. When I was asked by Ray Cross, Dr. Ray Cross, president of Morrisville College, to write a business plan for a biodiesel plant. I didn't know what biodiesel was, so I studied up on it, and I had to learn about it, and eventually developed a business plan for him. So that's how we got started. 2 other guys were with me, Malik Jalal and John Fox, who's their CEO. We, I did an awful lot of research online using the internet and doing all sorts of, and reading every paper I could get and talking to people in the industry. We, made lots of calls to other people that were running plants and found out what they were doing and what was working and what wasn't, and attended conferences and things of that nature. So a lot of it is just good old investigative work to find out, what's working in the industry and who's doing what. Probably the internet is the single largest tool that we use to do all kinds of research and investigative work. Now there are other people out there like Frost & Sullivan and BMI that write very comprehensive reports on the biodiesel industry. We used all of that information, and we also used a lot of the analysts from some of the banks. So I think your investors and your board of directors on a startup, they can't just be, they have to be helpful to the company. They have to bring something to the party, and that's very important for us as well. It's mostly people that I think where you get most of your information from, and keeping track and organized among the different relationships you have. So I think that's been as big of a resource for us as the internet has, and everything, all the information that's available there. Talking to the people directly, I think, is very important. A lot of it is just striking out on your own and not being afraid to pick up the phone and cold call somebody and start the relationship from there. That I think is a mark of an entrepreneur. It's a skill set that you really need to have, is not being afraid to contact people, right up to CEOs of companies if you have to get the information that you need. I would say to a minimal degree. We've used library resources to some degree in our company, but because we've been working primarily remotely and in different places and almost in a virtual type setting, we really rely on the internet and all of the resources there a whole lot more than anything else at this point in time. What motivated me to undertake the project? Renewable energy I thought was an up-and-coming industry. I have a background in startups across many technology sectors: telecommunications, advanced materials, semiconductors, medical products, and now renewable energy. And I had been very interested in solar and wind energy and some of these other things, but biofuels was actually right in my sweet spot because of my background in chemistry and so forth. So that's kind of what motivated me. And like I said, the biggest thing is I'm a startup guy, so I like to create value from a blank sheet of paper. The stage where it really gets exciting is when you finally get funded, and you can start your company, and you can create a payroll, and you can start to actually create business. What I like to tell people, and what I teach when I teach entrepreneurship courses, is that you have to be able to do two things. You have to be comfortable with without knowing all the answers, with a fairly large state of vagueness and ambiguity. And second, you have to be able to make decisions with half the information that you need. Because if you don't make the decision and you just languish, then nothing gets done. So making a bad decision is better than making no decision. So I think on top of perseverance and tenacity, which are obviously traits that entrepreneurs need, the ability to keep moving forward and to be flexible enough to change your plan, to change what's going on. And this is, just to talk about business plans for a moment, the two mistakes that people make with business plans is they either write them and then they get funded and then they go off and they put their business plan on a shelf and they never look at it again, or they stick to it so rigidly that they don't make changes that they should make because of different market conditions, or they learn more information or something. So it should be used, but it should also be able to be changeable. And people usually go one direction or the other. They ignore it completely, or they stick to it so dogmatically that they make mistakes because information is constantly coming in, and it's a living document, a business plan is, and it has to keep changing. Yeah, the thing I tell budding entrepreneurs is nobody is trying to steal your idea. Talk to people about it. A lot of people think that they have to have a huge leapfrog, disruptive technology idea in order to create a business, when you really don't. An incremental change on something that's right out there in the marketplace right now is enough to get you started. It doesn't have to be, the next Google or the next Yahoo or the next, incredible, technical thing. Businesses can be built on very small innovations, or sometimes no innovation, just filling a need. Think of a problem and then think of the solution to the problem. And if you got enough people that have the problem and you provide the solution, you got a business.